This episode of Yeah, Beer and That is brought to you for free by Craft Beer Banter and the Dock Brewing Company. On this episode, we're interviewing Chris of Cringeworthy Homebrew, talking to him about his desert island beer, his gateway to craft, and his guilty pleasure. Grab a beer, make yourself comfortable, and settle in for an hour of absolute drivel.
What's that?
I reckon we're rolling. Can you hear me? I got some.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Us.
I can kind of hear you.
Okay, I'll try keep close to the microphone to make sure.
No, I can actually hear you great. I'm having issues with my headphones for some reason, so sorry about that.
Dude, no stress whatsoever. What's been going on, man? How's life? How's things over in your neck?
Oh, they're good. We're so what would be beer week in San Francisco here, so kind of a tough time for some of us beer geeks to be, at home and not lining up for Pliny the Younger or some stupid shit like that at 5 a.m. With frost on our noses, but or pouring rain. But that's just that's just how it goes.
Dude, however little you've got going on now because of COVID and that, it's still more than we've ever had going on in Adelaide. So, appreciate the craft beer scene over there. Apparently, where you living is like the mecca of like craft beer, dude. Is that about right?
I feel like, yeah, it's a really, really, really good spot. It's because we're close to Sac. It's about an hour from Sacramento, which has a lot of really great up and coming beer, breweries and stuff. And then we're 2 hours from San Francisco, so we get all the great, Bay Area beers, and 2 hours from Russian River, and so we're really, really lucky.
Dude, that is amazing. Just the names you're rattling off is, that's what we learn about with craft beer here. We just got no chance of getting any of it. That's all we're like.
No, I'm very aware of how lucky I am. This is great. But
you've been brewing a bit, dude. Like I've been having a look on the old Insta, and you've been a bit busy.
Yeah, well, I haven't been posting a lot lately. I've just been, haven't just felt that, I don't know, creativity or whatever to post stuff. But yeah, I'm down to, because of a couple infected batches, I got a conical, and I'm brewing one batch at a time in the conical right now. So
nice, dude.
It's a little slower, but yeah, I'm focusing on making each batch, just trying to get that quality just dialed in. So, and improving the clarity and stuff like that too. So right now I have a Pilsner lagering at 33 degrees. It's been that way for 2 weeks now.
Oh, wow. How long are you going to go for?
Probably like 2 more weeks. I'll do a dry hop here in the next week or so, and then package probably the week after that.
Do you have most of your stuff like from the keg, or do you bottle a lot of your stuff, or can, or what do you kind of do?
For the lagers, I actually usually I keg them because I figure the yeast is pretty much settled out and done, right? I don't know. I've never tried to bottle condition, except I did a Baltic Porter once, but I added a little bit of ale yeast when I packaged just to get that carbonation up.
Just to make sure. And that worked?
Yeah, and it actually won its category, which they are small fare here. They actually lumped it in with the I think the light lagers just because it was a lager. But I guess it was the style, so they took it.
Tick that box. And I got to say as well, for those of you who've been watching us for a little while, they know because I kind of brag about it a bit, but one of your recipes I threw in over here, your black IPA.
Yeah.
And that took out gold as an American porter, dude. So and it actually
awesome.
got silver as a black IPA. But
oh, really?
I entered it.
Oh, that's great. In both categories.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I owe you for that one, man. That's still one of my favorites I've ever brewed, dude. That recipe is
Oh,
right
good.
up there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. That's probably next after the Pilsner for the fair. But
Yeah,
it's funny the
that
difference in perception because like your buddies were saying it's a porter to them, right? Um,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, I see that. It's very roasty and malty. At the same time, it was pretty hoppy for a
yeah,
porter,
it was, dude.
American porter, right?
My mates can be fastidious at the best of times, so
Well, I think all of us are. That's why we're in craft beer.
yeah.
We have somebody to look down on.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude. So, yeah, you know, if you're not going to pick it apart, then what's the point? You know, that's the kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Exactly.
um,
I love having other people pick my beer apart. That's just I fucking love that. You can complain about it all you want, and that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, dude. Well,
I wish I could
go,
get you some and I could try some of yours the way you brew it.
I know, dude. There needs to be a way to like do that without having it sit for like 4 weeks in some hot warehouse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
looking. It's really hard. It seems like and expensive.
Yeah,
Of course.
recipes is the way to go for now, dude. So,
Yeah.
if it's anything like you know, that was amazing. I've got a few more of yours I got to do still.
Okay.
The Belgian Golden and a barley wine.
Mhm.
I reckon you gave me a little while ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we'll make that happen for sure. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is like a new potty we're kind of rolling. I'm sorry, dude. We're supposed to have two other guys kind of here, and they're all like one's at a wedding and one's doing other stuff. So it's just me and you, which is kind of cool
Oh,
because I
really?
get to say
Oh,
g'day.
that's all right. I was excited to meet your friends, but that's all good.
We'll do
Yeah,
another one, man. We'll get we'll get you back on with your next 3 beers or something, eh?
we will. And I'll try to learn Australian by then, so maybe they'll be able to understand me. I tried. It's so hard. I have I have the biggest problem with your vocabulary. Like
What is
especially
it?
words like billabong, right? The fuck is
Yeah.
that? Right? It doesn't even make sense to us. So it's like, but I learned that one. It's not a word I'll probably ever use, but I know what it means now.
You know, we don't even use it that much. That's like a surf brand here, eh? Like that's
Okay.
yeah. So that's the only reason we say. Is there anything that we say? Because I'm a mumbler too, dude. So that's got to kind of be hard.
Oh
Like
no,
with
I
a bit.
can understand you just fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
As long
awesome.
as the audio picks up good, then I'm good with that.
All right. So this is Cringeworthy Homebrew. Cool to call you Chris. You want me to call you
Yeah.
Cringeworthy or what's?
Chris is
You know,
fine. Yeah.
Chris is
Or
fine.
cringeworthy. Once you try some of my beer, yeah, it'll probably be more cringeworthy than Chris. That's fine too.
No, it's been
I don't
rad,
care.
dude.
I,
You you got a really cool Insta, dude. Like I love your man, your posts, man. They crack me up all the time.
thank you.
The paragraph are like just wicked, like
You ever
diatribes.
just drunken like look through the dictionary and find the biggest words and put them on paper
Yeah, I do the same, man.
and try to come off intelligent somehow. It's hard.
The beer helps,
Harder
man.
than
The beer
it
helps.
looks, actually when you're drunk. Probably
Yeah,
sober it would
for
be.
sure. So we're doing a bit of a like a your 3 beers, dude. Like I've
Yeah.
asked you for your desert island beer,
Yes.
gateway to homebrew, and your holy shit, what was that? Guilty pleasure.
Hey, gateway to craft, right?
Yeah, gateway to craft. Yeah. So do you want to kick us off with whichever one you want to start with, and we'll
Sure. I guess probably lightest to darkest. Does that work?
that
'Cause
works
there's
for
not
me,
that
man.
are sour or hoppy too much, so probably fine either way.
Yeah, for
But we should
sure.
probably just finish with the guilty pleasure beer, right?
Yeah, dude, if that's what you want. I'm
Yeah.
letting you kind of roll here, man. This is you
So
teach me how you want me to drink these 3 amazing beers.
I want you to, yeah, I want just, I actually, I go into a bar and I'll usually order 2 beers when I walk in. I'll order a hoppy beer and I'll order a dark beer often. And I let the dark beer sit while I drink the hoppy one cold and warm up a bit, kind of open up, and then I'll drink the stout usually after.
Dude, I
So
like that.
I'm a huge fan of double fisting or triple fisting, or the more fists you can get, the better. I'm a big fan of fisting. Let's put it that way.
I got all my glasses ready in case you wanted to do that, eh? So, rad.
Glasses work. They can break if you try fisting with them, but you know, that's just, be careful.
Be careful out there.
Maybe a trip to the ER after.
Oh, that's an expensive day, isn't it? Ends up being.
It is. I work in the ER. It's not pretty. Trust me.
So you've seen it, man. Rad.
I've seen it. Yes. Do not do it.
So what do we got, dude? What's this?
All right. So this is Saison DuPont. I'm not sure if you can really see it. This is backwards, so I got it. Yeah. So your label over there looks a little different, huh? But I think essentially the same beer.
Yeah.
And this is just, to me, one of the most amazing beers in the world, I think, right now.
And what one is this in your little list?
This is my Desert Island beer.
The Desert Island. So this is the one, you don't get anything else. You've got Saison DuPont as much as you want.
Yes, and that's it. The only beer. The only beer you can have. And yes, I would take this to a desert island.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I haven't tried one of these before.
Oh, really?
This is you're popping my Saison DuPont cherry.
All right, I like popping cherries. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers. You like popping cherries? That's brilliant. Oh, dude.
Who knows, but that's okay. You're supposed to get the aromas, not the actual beer.
I took a noseful.
That's all good. Really brings out the aromas that way, huh?
Oh, dude! Wow. So this is my first beer of the day, right? It's midday.
You.
Oh man, and that's like, because for a saison, like, you can get a real spectrum of like heavy to light to. This is kind of like a real middle of the road, man. Lovely flavor, but really light and easy.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why I take it to a desert island. It's one you can be hot as shit and you can drink it just fine.
You can pick the desert island, by the way, dude. So if you want it a bit cooler,
that's fine too. It's good in the cold too. It's got that flavor. It's not, I think a lot of people would say a Pilsner would be a desert island beer or something like that, which I get. But this has that complexity that keeps you, interested.
Dude, there's that lovely, like, almost like a spiciness that's or like clovey kind of style, but like it's not over the top at all. Like it's really like just gives you a little kiss and then walks away. So you want to keep like searching for it.
Yeah.
So how long you been drinking this for?
I had my first one of these probably 2016, something like that. So 4 or 5 years ago. I read about it as kind of the only reason, that farmhouse ales exist in the rest of the world. This brewery was one of the very, last few.
You're all right. You're all right.
Last few farmhouse, kind of farmhouse style breweries in Belgium, based on the story I read, and some importer was looking through Belgium trying to find a new style to bring over to the U.S. To kind of break up the monotony of just the lineup of amber, IPA, stout, Pilsner over here. And came across this brewery and started to import them, and now it's something that's around, we know about around the world, and it's I think one of the finest.
I'd be hard pressed to tell you that I've had a better version of a saison. Like, legit, this is Kogler, Duds, the guy who looks like Brain from Pinky and the Brain. Yeah. I've had to buy a couple extras for him because he was so excited that you picked this beer. Like, this is right up his alley. So
yeah. Is it hard to get?
Surprisingly, no, dude. Like we have a few they're called Beer Cartel or Craft Cartel. They're just online. You have to buy a 4-pack, but you know, one click. This one was not so bad to kind of get my hands on, kind of thing. This is which tells you the people in Australia are kind of been drinking it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's great. Well, now you and your buddies will too. Now the thing, I love getting geeky about my beer. So if I ever
Please.
talk too much, just tell me shut the fuck up and we can move.
Dude.
That's fine.
I'm horrible. You geek out for as long as you want. I'm so interested.
Because I'm a guest here, so yeah, just I'm not really sure, if I overstay my welcome,
No.
just shut me the fuck off.
Keep going.
But this is I was reading about the yeast for this one, and doing the genetic research now that they're able to do, they actually this has a lot of similarities to both certain wild types of yeast and certain varieties of wine yeast, if I'm not mistaken, and champagne yeast.
Yeah, right.
And yet it's still got those like kind of that Belgian bouquet on the nose. It's got that spicy, the cloves, and then it finishes with that. I don't know if you noticed how dry it finishes in the end. You kind of get this sweetness up front, and then the phenolics, and then lingering. You just get this dryness, almost like a Brett would do, right? But without the horse blanket or
There's
that
no
stuff.
horse blanket. No
horse blanket, no goat pee or whatever Brett tastes like.
It's after you
Just
said it.
Love Brett.
The dryness comes through. Like I did
in the end, though.
In the end, it wasn't something that I picked up straight away. But like now you've said it, that's all I can think about.
Right. But it's sweet at first, so you get like the sweetness going to the dryness, and it's a whole experience. Every sip is it's like a journey.
Now it's an all kind of weather beer too.
Sentimental and poetic. What?
So it's an all kind of weather beer too. Like this is it could be freezing and you could enjoy. Yeah.
And it's wintertime here right now, and I'm loving the shit out of it still.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed with that, man. That's I can totally understand why you would want to kind of sit on an island with a case of these and just see how many you could get through during the day, and then do it all again tomorrow.
The ABV's low too, 6.5. So it's it's one you could crush several of and not just be dehydrated.
Yeah, dude. That's the biggest problem with some of these like American beers that we've been buying is the ABVs just knock me around, dude. You guys must be able to drink, hey? Like,
it's weird. I don't like it because I like to be able to go to a pub or something, have a couple beers, and be able to drive home. When all of your IPAs are 10%, what's the point?
Yeah,
but
dude.
Because in America we want everything bigger and badder, which is why we came up with our version of the IPA, right, in the first place. But I think we're kind of going, and then now we're adding lactose and some shit like that to beer that to IPAs that never should be in there. I don't think.
No, I'm in your camp, man.
Sorry to all the lactose, the milkshake IPA fans, but yeah.
That's not. That'll die out. That'll end up passing, and something else would come back and come through. If it could be these, this would be brilliant.
Yes, I would like that.
Man, Belgian beers are something else. Like they're really like. We were talking on one of ours about no one in Adelaide really or Australia really brewing Belgian style beers. Do American brewers brew Belgian style beers, or is it kind of imports from Belgium?
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually feel like Belgian beers over the last 2 to 3 years have gotten even harder to get a hold of because the bottle shops will get them in and they'll end up sitting for months without moving. And the volume that I drink isn't enough to keep all these guys, moving through their stock.
Yeah, I get it, dude.
So I was told a local brewery here brewed a amazing saison. and I loved it so much. Every time I went there, I had at least one pint of it. And one day it was gone, and I asked them when they're going to brew another one. They said they probably wouldn't because they thought I drank through that whole batch of their saison for them, like single-handedly. I was the only person that ever bought it there.
Oh, dude,
So
that's a blessing and a burden, isn't it? That's amazing.
it's a blessing while it's there, and then because it's never coming back. So I just got to enjoy the shit out of them. But yeah, I would love to see a Belgian resurgence. And there's there's a few breweries. Well, you've heard of Allagash, right? From the East
Yes.
Coast, and they're keeping that the flame alive. So that's good. They're one of those. And New Belgium, although they recently got bought by Kirin, I think, or something, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Rice
I don't know.
lager
I'll take
beer,
your word for that.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of that kind of going on. It's just the way of the industry at the moment, eh?
Yep.
Shame, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, we got this for now. So cheers.
Cheers, man. Now, do you have anything else? Any other trivia and stuff that you might want to deliver our lovely audience on this Saison du Pont?
So something I read. If you've read the book, I forget who the author was, but it's called Brew Like a Monk. So anybody who wants to really get into brewing the Belgian styles, that's a great book. And he says he has, on good faith, he claims that the only malt in this beer is two-row. It's two-row only. No sugar, no adjuncts, no spices either. It ferments at about 90 degrees to, Fahrenheit to 100. So whatever that ends up being. Sorry, I don't know your, your system where everything's in base 10.
Yeah. 100 is like, what, 36, 38,
Probably
37 degrees? Yeah,
like
pretty
really
hot.
Anyway.
Yeah, hot.
Jeez, yeah. And the interesting correlation is that they're saying that Kvikis from like Norway and stuff will ferment super hot also, like even upwards of that, like 40 degrees Celsius, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then for the mash on this, they start at I only know Fahrenheit numbers, but
Go Fahrenheit, dude.
20 and goes up to 170, which is a mash out temp. And it's just slowly ramped up over 90 minutes. And so when I brew a Belgian now, that's what I do. Instead of doing a step mash, I just have low heat on it the whole time and just gradually bring that mash temp up all the way through.
We're going to have to try that. I really like that idea.
Yeah. So summertime is when I ferment these too, because it's like 100 degrees outside here. So it just goes to town. It loves it. That's
awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't recommend to our, especially our Australian listeners, enough to get your hands on this Saison du Pont. Is it expensive for you guys? Can I ask?
It's not too bad. It's about, I think, $7 a bottle US, which is right now it's right in there with a lot of the IPAs.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah, they've gone up the last couple of years.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's average for craft beer for us. Anyway.
Yes, these are about $10 a bottle Australian for our Australian listeners.
Right in what craft beer is, or
for this kind of beer, absolutely, yeah. Like you won't find anything for less than that for something like this. So yeah, right on the mark, man. That's pretty close. We'll so we don't eat up your whole. It's Friday night over there, isn't it? Sorry, man.
Yeah, but I got nowhere to go because everybody's got the Rona. So.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. I keep forgetting about. We have been so lucky here in Adelaide, man. Like Adelaide is like a country town. Like there's like 1 million and 1.2 million people maybe, and we're so like there's no one near us. So we kind of had like a 5-day lockdown, and that was about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. So, like, seeing all of the stuff that's going on everywhere else, we feel so bad for everyone else. And you guys are kind of safe over there at the moment, or?
Yeah, we're okay. Thankfully, as healthcare workers, we got our vaccine, so we're hoping that keeps us safe for now. But the problem is nobody over here does what they're told. So Nobody stayed home when they were supposed to. They all had big get-togethers for Thanksgiving and New Year's. So, that's
a shame,
why,
dude.
yeah, that's where we're
That's a
at.
damn shame. Well, hopefully it improves so you guys can all get back out and start enjoying freedom again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully.
What are we going to move to next, dude? What do you reckon's? What's next?
Well, I was thinking next probably would be the Guinness, right? Don't laugh. You can laugh. Yeah.
No, dude, this is one of our absolute favorites. I've actually got it in a can myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got is that the draft or is that the extra stout?
The draft stout. That's all I could get. That's
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay. And for some reason, I don't know why, but when I first was going to try a beer, when I was like finally able to, of age to purchase a beer, I was looking through the grocery store shelves and I, saw the normal. This was back in the day before craft beer was so big here, is what it is now anyway. And they had all the Bud Lights and the lagers and all that. And I saw this one and it said extra stout, and I knew I liked coffee, and I was like, oh, that sounds like it could be actually interesting. And so, oh yeah, you got that nitro pour.
Yeah, we do, man.
That's awesome.
And so that this was one of your first, I guess, this is your gateway.
Yeah, my gateway to craft. Yeah, the first kind of beer that I purchased and was like, wow, that's good. I had lagers obviously before that, and wasn't impressed by our, pale, American lagers that just don't have much flavor. And I tasted this, I was like, wow, there's actually flavor. It, reminds me of coffee, what I love. So it's amazing. And tasting it now, it's been years since I had it, but trying it now, it compared to the American porters and stouts, it actually feels really thin and almost a bit watery. Cheers.
Cheers, man. That was one thing that we noticed too, when it had been so long since we'd had a Guinness. And the thinness of the beer and how easy it was to just put down. We were like, this can't be right. This is not how we remembered it.
It almost drinks like a lager or some kind of lawnmower beer or something. It's just so light bodied. And I looked it up because I started to suspect that maybe they just started with a light base and added color to make it dark, or something, right? Because I don't know how they made it this dark and yet so light, and just honestly, it's crushable, which is weird,
dude. And what was the answer?
I found, oh shit, I had it written down and now I lost my list. Anyway, it's Maris Otter is the base, and they have some roasted barley, some flaked barley, some black cat, and that's all the malts that are in it. East Kent Golding hops, and then like a Irish, obviously a proprietary Irish yeast strain that makes it what it is.
Man, it's the simplicity in it that, like, you don't need to go all out when you're brewing your beers. Like, one of the best beers in the world.
Yep.
That is that simple,
Yeah. And it's crazy, I guess.
Oh man, that's so smooth in it. That's just like light, delicious, smooth.
Oh yeah.
It's a hell of a gateway, dude.
Yeah. And honestly, now I would be, if I went into a bar and asked for a porter and it was this, I would be a little bit disappointed. I want like that astringency. I want some like thickness and some more roast,
Yeah,
but
dude, I
like everything bigger and badder, like we were saying. So
now, do you think that because back when you would have first started drinking like craft beer or whatever, this might have been, a bit thick in the mouth, a bit full, a bit bold. Is it because you reckon we're so used to craft that it tastes the way it does to us? Or like, what are your thoughts? Are we just used to bigger, bolder beers now?
Yeah. And that's a really good question. I think that's probably it. I mean, they claim that they haven't changed anything in 300 years or something, right?
Yeah, they do. They claim, though.
They claim, yeah. I'm skeptical, but Yeah. So it says on the can they were established 1759, right? It's a long track record, and there's a reason that they're obviously still in business. But yeah, I think we've gotten used to. I mean, when I first had an IPA, I hated it. Right, the first IPA I had, I couldn't even do it. Right, I was like, that's nasty. I don't even want that. And it took a lot of drinking stouts and porters to finally go into some of these other styles. And I think it's so much of it's just training your palate and developing your taste. That's part of the joy of, craft beer, right? Is you learn new stuff. I didn't even like sours until the last like year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I just
You've been
was pretty
drinking.
much not a fan at all.
You've been drinking craft for a little while as well.
Yeah. Shit. I want to say early 2000s. That's
Oh
kind of
wow,
when I had
dude.
this beer first. And
Yeah.
yeah, I hadn't had it for years and years until we talked about this and I opened another one. But
Now, was it you or your friends, or like what made you transition to like start going towards craft? Like, why did you transition from the lagers to the Guinness, like in the first place? Like, what
oh, it
was?
was this. It was this beer. And yeah, my friends weren't craft beer people. Most of them weren't even drinkers. They were drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade and the fucking Mickey 40s or whatever, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that malt liquor shit. And
yeah.
I was I was like, nah, I don't even like that. What's the point, right? It tastes like lemonade or it tastes like fruit punch. So just drink fruit punch. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
And I tasted. I wanted something I could enjoy tasting, and this was kind of it. And I was like, and then as I would see a new beer, like a new label on the shelf, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna try that, right? And some of them sucked, and some of them were good. And that's
It
just
was.
how.
We call it the Pokemon effect a bit. Like, did you grow up with Pokemon and all of that shit as
Yeah,
well, or is
well,
that?
kind of. It kind of became big when I was more like a teenager. I was probably 16 or 17, so it was a little juvenile, I thought at that point, but I knew
Oh, it
about it.
still is. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's that one you got to kind of have them all kind of thing. You start with a delicious Guinness and then go, but it's like the blinkers have been removed and you got like this whole world in front of you. Do your mates kind of like now, like are you and your crew like the same? Like you'll like to try different things, or are you trying to introduce your mates to craft, or how do you sit in your little field there?
Yeah, I think, well, my mates have changed. A lot of the friends that, from 20 years ago are moved away or, we kind of lost touch. So now with craft beer being so big, there's actually very few people, I would say, that I really know that claim not to like craft beer. Uh,
Really?
yeah, and a lot of people will say I'm really into craft. I like Blue Moon or something, right? Yeah,
Okay,
you have
okay.
that there, right?
Yeah, we got Blue Moon, dude.
Okay.
I got that in the fridge legitimately right now, I reckon.
Yeah, they came out with an horchata version
Really?
a few years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
it sucked too.
That makes me feel better because like we can't get a lot of shit here, dude. Like it's amazing. Like you'd genuinely be surprised, like the amount of shit we don't have.
Oh, yeah.
It's imagine like what's that, dude?
Is that why you make it?
Yeah, no, dude, 100%. We're like maybe the states from like imagine the US in like the late 70s, and that's maybe Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
It's
Damn.
like
Holy
time
shit.
travel.
Yeah, that's huge, huge time travel.
Yeah, dude,
Speaking
it's
of
big.
travel, you're in the future, right? Because it's Saturday there.
Yeah. I was talking to
Yeah.
my missus and she made a couple of stupid like time travel jokes as well, just to let you know what
Yeah.
the weather's going to be like tomorrow. So,
Thank you. I would like to know that.
yeah.
Obviously, the world doesn't burn up between now and then, so that's good.
No, we're good, dude. It's a bit hot here, but it's kind of
Yeah.
always hot here at the moment. So, yeah, it's one of those. But that was fucking me up so bad trying to figure out the time zones and shit. Like,
It's weirdly hard. You would think it would be easy. You're in Adelaide, though, right?
yeah, yeah. So there's not even like an Adelaide time zone. I think we're like UCT or some shit. We're not at like. Whereas the
Oh,
States, it's like really blocked up. Like,
you're like Zulu time,
you, yeah,
right? time or
Yeah.
something you navigate, right? With that
Yeah.
somehow.
So
That's
yeah,
where
somehow.
you are.
Oh my god, yeah, something like that, dude. Little old
Nice.
Adelaide, mate.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that's such a like. I had stuff planned for after this today, and there's no way I'm going to get any of it done. I'm going to sit here and get mauled. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, we wanted to know like words that you use for when you get drunk, because like my mate's gone around and started saying that he's wankered now. I say,
That's a
I
good
say,
word.
yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I go around saying I'm trolleyed. Apparently, that's not a normal one.
Okay.
What do
I'm
you guys say?
in San Francisco, so trolley would make sense. But yeah, I mean, you're, I don't know, you're fucked up. We, the thing about Americans, we're not very inventive. We take other people's ideas and make them bigger, and that's kind of where a lot of our creativity, I think, ends. So, you hear every once in a while someone say about getting pissed or something like that. Um, but yeah, we just aren't very inventive. When it comes to that, fucked up is pretty much the
Fucked up. No, that's a good one, dude. That's
yeah, as it gets.
you get what it says on the tin there.
Using that though, or trolley. That's a good one too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
getting
tell my
trolleyed.
trolley. I can't have another one.
Yeah, we want to spread the love, man. Spread that spread all of the slang around. That's one of our goals is the part of the podcast.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna add that to my Australian English dictionary.
Yeah.
Another Australian word I learned. 2 words actually.
Wanked. That's a new favorite of mine too. More trivia about Guinness, man. Now one that I had for you. Did you know that Guinness made a movie?
They did.
They made a movie called Critical Assignment.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's about a journalist who gets like powers the more Guinness he drinks, like gets better at his job. Yeah,
That's hilarious. That sounds like epically bad, but so bad that you might actually enjoy watching it.
that's what I bought the movie and I
Okay.
haven't actually got to finish watching it yet because like Georgia, my missus, it was off me, so off me while we were watching it because it was kind of that borderline, not quite bad enough to be
Oh,
like
to be like funny. Yeah.
yeah. But if you are like, I might. I'll see if I can send you the Dropbox link or whatever to Critical Assignment. You let me know what you think, hey? Like, because that was yeah, that was one of the little facts we had from one of our things. And the Guinness Book of Records is this it's the beer thing.
Really?
Yeah, Guinness.
How'd that get started?
So one of the CEOs or whatever, was like shooting birds or whatever with his mate. And one of them said that's the fastest bird in the world, and the CEO was like, "No, it's not." So he made like a whole like list of shit to put in a book that was like pub trivia, and that's how the Guinness Book of Records started.
Oh, wow!
So, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah,
That's awesome.
life, mate, in it, life.
I guess, yeah. It all comes back to beer somehow or other, right?
Mate, that's
Everything.
and that's even
Related
now, like
to beer, climate change, beer.
Yeah, that's even this now. Like we couldn't be. We probably couldn't be further away from each other, and like we're having a wicked chat like over something as simple
Beer.
as
Some great
beer.
fucking yeah,
Bringing people together, mate.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I've got to finish my saison as well.
Sorry, yeah.
Cheers, buddy. Oh, so did you have anything else on the old Guinness, mate? Like what
I didn't just the ingredients, and our homebrew club brewed an Irish an export stout, which is what this is, a while back, and we won the porter and stout category at our local competition.
Dude, you're making some award winners.
We did good this last year. We really cleaned up. But it's ours. Of course, had way more body. Was way roastier, and it was more like. Do you guys get Anchor there?
No, dude, no.
Just go. Okay. It was more
But
like
I know
that.
about Anchor.
Okay.
They've just done a thing with their logo or some shit.
Yeah, everybody's pissed.
I
It's
can
been
understand
for
why.
like 150 years, and now they're going for like some kind of off-the-shelf look. They were
That's really
hand-drawn.
disappointing.
I read an article about it. They all used to be hand-drawn by some guy who's like 90 now, and he retired last year. And so they're deciding that they're going in a different direction branding-wise.
That's really disappointing, man.
Yeah, they're hoping that boosts their sales back up rather than come out with some new innovative shit. They're changing their branding and hoping that they can just keep going, which doesn't make sense to me. But oh well.
Short term kind of fix that, isn't it? I think
What?
it's a real like short term kind of mindset. I think.
Yeah, it is. But they got bought again. They also got bought by it was either Sapporo or Asahi within the last couple years.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah, so I think that they're wanting to boost volume without spending anything. In my opinion.
Do you know Coopers over there? Have you heard of Coopers?
Coopers, I've heard the name, but I haven't.
So they do a lot of the homebrewed kits, like
okay.
that I've seen guys over in the States and Canada use. But they're like an Adelaide brewery that's been around forever, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're big enough that they could have been bought, but they didn't. And that's what I thought the anchor was for you guys over in
yes, it was
that
years.
kind of area.
Yeah.
So when I heard that they did that, and I thought about if Coopers did that to me, I would be heartbroken, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I kind of am. They kicked off along with Sierra Nevada, basically invented the craft beer scene, and it's they're in that way they're iconic, and they always will be just for that. But they've kind of failed to keep up. I feel like.
Change.org. All right, start a petition.
Yep, exactly.
Bring back
the old anchor.
Yeah.
Fuck Asahi. It's good with sushi, but not with anchor.
Oh, dude, that's brilliant. Now, speaking of Sierra Nevada, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is one of my favorite beers of all time. Like that is one of my little gateways of how I got into it.
Your gateway to craft?
Mine wasn't Sierra Nevada, but it was very close. It was really close. Just because, it's American. Like, so there was an Australian beer here that I had before that. It was one of those. We have a lovely Sierra Nevada beer coming up, mate.
Yes, we do. Would
you like to let us know about it?
Sure. So this beauty right here in the 750 bottle. Oh, nice. Is that barrel? So what? That's barrel aged.
Yeah, so I got the barrel aged, dude. What's that?
Is that this year's? Does it have a year on it?
Let me have a little cheeky la sneaky. Oh, dude, this is 4.4 standard drinks. I'm going to be blind.
Yeah. Well, I got to put some of this into a sealed jar because my girlfriend's at work right now. She's doing the night shift, and she will kill me if I drink this and she doesn't get to at least try it.
That's very fair, dude. That's very fair. So, and this is an October 2020.
Okay, yeah. So it's the current batch.
So we got the same beer. Have we got the legit same beer?
No, not quite. So I could not find by the time we talked about this, all of the barrel aged narwhal and the regular narwhal for the season is sold out everywhere around me, and I'm 3 hours away from Chico at the brewery. But I had to order this on the secondary market from Michigan, which is, towards the East Coast. It's like by Chicago, kind of, or something. I don't know, somewhere back there. And this is a 2014 barrel-aged narwhal.
Oh, I feel special, mate, to be sharing this with you.
Oh, fuck yeah. This is history right here. We're talking about time travel. Now we're going back.
I feel really privileged, mate. I do appreciate you. Now, can I just say this? I would have loved to have got a 2014 one, but do you know how hard it was for me to get this?
Oh, I'm sure.
I had to order that one can. I
Uh-huh.
got to make sure my missus is in the other room. One can, including shipping, was 50 Australian
Holy shit.
because it came in one of the big boxes. That was like,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do any more.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was like 20 or $18 shipping or something. So
damn. Yeah. Well, see, this ended
worth it.
up being about that too, but somebody has cellared it for, 9 years, 6 years, something like that, right? 7 years now.
And why is this your guilty pleasure, dude?
Okay, so I've always porters and stouts have been my first love with beer. Starting with Guinness, and then it's been porters and stouts ever since, and as my all-time favorite style probably. And you get a porter or stout, and you get that bourbon, like the oaky vanilla and bourbon along with it, and it's just, I mean, this is heaven in a bottle right here. Cheers.
Cheers, man. I can't even hide my face at the moment. I am so happy right now. Like,
Fuck yeah.
dude, you know a thing or two about beer, eh? This is amazing. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have looked for this if you didn't, tell me about it, which is why I'm just so super appreciative right now because we don't have a lot of this in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we just we
I'm
don't.
actually really surprised you got any of it because I can't get any of it. I can't get any of that year here. And like I said, I'm 3 hours from the brewery, so yeah, I'm surprised you got it.
Man, that is like the nose is you get something different each time you put your nose in. Hey, there's like the bourbon, then there's the vanilla, then there's this like chocolate. Then I almost get like almost like a smokiness.
Hmm.
This is amazing. What are you getting off yours? You're
Yeah, and
just
it's
sitting
like
there.
I'm just kind of, yeah, I'm awestruck. I don't really have words. You just have to experience it. So, um, but yeah, it's got some heavy sweetness. It's almost like syrupy, kind of stick to your mouth sweetness that I get too in the finish. Um, but it's not cloying because it's offset by the bourbon and the alcohol strength, and this having been aged for 7 years is I'm sure even just that is definitely not done it a disservice at all. It is not. I
Okay.
would say this is still at 7 years old. This is still not past its prime. This is
Well,
fucking good.
it's just gonna I guess dial back some of the harsher flavors and give you a more
Yeah,
rounded beer
yeah,
to a certain point. There's
yeah.
so much flavor in here, man. I don't think that aging is at all a bad thing with a beer like this. Oh, dude, on the nose, that's like what like cacao nibs and vanilla.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
But there's none of that in it though. It's just the stout with the bourbon barrel.
Isn't that is what have we got? Deep in our barrel room, out of light's reach, our legendary Narwhal Imperial Stout rests in bourbon barrels for nearly a year. Oh, what do they said? Rich notes of oak, vanilla, coconut, and the stout's malt flavors of dark chocolate and espresso. Is it? Are we too early in this relationship for me to tell you that I love you?
No, no, no. That's fine. Yeah, because you got me to get a 2014 Narwhal, so I have to say the feeling's mutual at this point. Yeah,
Oh man, that is amazing. So they release this every year, I'm guessing.
yeah. About our seems like September, October, something like that. Narwhal comes out, and I think it's around the same time that they do very limited distribution of the barrel aged version of Narwhal. And the Narwhal, just by itself, even the non-barrel aged, is just one of the, I think, all-time great stouts. And then when they put it in the barrels, it just it just takes it and adds even more awesomeness to it.
This is something else, man. It is have you had the KBS, the Founders KBS?
Yes.
It's like a wicked version of that.
Yes, but better.
Yeah, better. Like like the KBS on steroids, kind of.
Yes, with a little less of the sweetness, but
So, why is this your guilty pleasure?
so yeah, it's that great. If I could have it, right before bed, it's a nice after the day's done, or I don't have anything to do. It just you drink some of this, and it's just. This is like that one that you would be like cellaring and pull out when your friend that you haven't seen in 20 years pops in, or you cellar it for your daughter's wedding or some shit, like your son's wedding in your case, right?
Yeah, I got my little man, that little asshole. He's in another room at the moment. I'm kind of
Yeah, just don't tell him you're saving it for him, or he'll drink it sooner, probably.
Dude, he gets into everything, eh? So I definitely will not be, but it is one of those. It reminds me of like the wines you save like for special occasions. This is the beer equivalent of that.
Yeah.
You don't save many beers. This is a beer that you would save.
This is one of them. Yeah.
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 Can I ask, have you had this at the brewery?
I have not. And honestly, full disclosure, I haven't been up to Chico at the brewery. I should.
Really, dude?
Yes, I'm really close. I should go. And they would probably have really good shit up there, I'm sure. But Chico is one of those towns that's for us is kind of out of the way. Like we don't have another reason. There's no business to go, through Chico for or anything like that. So
I know what you mean. It's one way there, one way back. Nothing
like
around.
San Francisco, Sacramento, all those areas, we're always driving through, and it's easy to swing into Fieldworks or something and pick something up. But to go to Sierra Nevada, it's Chico is. Although they have a tasting room in Berkeley that I've wanted to go to and always never quite worked out.
Dude, you guys got to get that COVID under wraps so us Aussies can start coming over again, man.
Yeah,
hey? We want to come over so bad. My missus and I, my little boy. But man, it's just that last year there's no travel kind of thing going on. So
yeah.
So say we're to come over to the West Coast. What do we see? What do we do? Fresh Aussies, like with no knowledge whatsoever of what's around us.
You hit us up, and you probably can stay with us here.
Oh, dude, don't be doing that, because we'll be knocking on that door.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! We'll take some time off work and just actually this week would be they're calling it California Craft Beer Week this year, but this would be our San Francisco Beer Fest or Beer Week. And usually we take the week off of work and just hang out in the Bay Area and drink awesome beer. But this year, obviously, it's canceled and there's none of that. So we're stuck to mail order beer, and which is, it's got its own perks. We don't have to drive or get an Uber or whatever. But
saving cash, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Saving it up for next year.
But this would, so come this time. Actually, I'll tell you, come in February, this week next year, and they have the gala in San Francisco, which has 130 breweries or so from all over the Bay, and it's unlimited beer. You just take your little sample glass and have unlimited tastings, and breweries like Drake's and Sierra Nevada and all those, and even Russian River that's their kickoff for Pliny the Younger. Is that gala. So they have younger that people line up for, and it's an awesome time. And there's more great beer there than you can even, enjoy.
See, I do get worried though about coming this time of year, because I was going to go move to New Zealand to live, to be honest with you, dude. But it got to 0 degrees Celsius there, which is I think 32.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I was too cold, man.
Yeah, well, in the Bay, it never gets that cold.
Rad. So no, that's
feels
you
cold.
sold me.
Yeah, because it's like it'll be misty and damp and just kind of chilly. But yeah, it can be wet, but that's about it.
Okay,
Not
mate, you're selling me. You're selling me. I like it. Now, what are your plans for the near future, man, and beyond with Cringeworthy and not that who gives a shit about Instagram really, man. It's just one of those what are you up to? What do you got planned for coming up?
the funny thing is that the whole Instagram thing in Cringeworthy or whatever, I was just like, somebody told me that one of the other homebrewer accounts told me I should have a logo. So I was like, here, I'm going to draw a shitty dude, right? That I think kind of resembles me and just say whatever the fuck I want, right? And that's pretty much what I've been doing with that. And then I was kind of doing the YouTube thing for a second, and because my gripe with a lot of the home brewing how-to videos is they're usually an hour or 2 hours long or something, right? Nobody's gonna watch a 2 hour long video to learn how to homebrew. They're gonna try to fast forward to whatever they need to learn, and so I tried to like condense it down into like a bite-sized segment where people can see 2 minutes worth, and then and about the same time I did that, there were a couple other much more influential Instagram influencers actually that kind of started doing the same thing, and so so the one of those people that get given free shit all the time. I got to pay for all mine, and they have all the cool equipment and stuff like that, and so I was like, there's just too much. I still might do videos here and there. I enjoy doing it, but I was a little more gung ho at first, and then kind of realized that it's already been done by a lot of people. So
Yeah, it's been done, but like
kind of back off and do it as I want to.
that's kind of why I love your page more than this, because you can kind of tell when it's a bit forced, dude, and all yours are like awesome. Like it's so I always
some shit, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Your videos were really rad when you're sitting there with your dog, man. I love that. And like, you did one where you did like a tour of like a whole bunch of breweries or something. I reckon that was
That was Beer Week last year.
Yeah. Okay. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's been that
It's been
long.
a year. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I might do another post about that. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know. I'm a big fan of your page. I don't like the whole influencer thing. That's not really what the craft beer community, in my opinion, is about. Like it's
right.
You do it to help people.
Yeah.
Or to enjoy.
Sorry, what?
Or because you enjoy it, like, and you put it up when you want to. Like, there's no rules.
Exactly. So I have to confess, right? Because I'll flash it here. I got my you can't see it, but I got my Doc Brewing shirt on underneath my sweatshirt because it's wintertime. And
what size is that, by the way? Because I got some new shit. Don't say on thing if you don't want it. But
okay, it's all right. This is extra large.
All right, I've got some new shirts, and I'll send you the new range.
Awesome. Yeah. That's thank you. I love this. And
rad
stuff. It looks good too.
No, done deal, man. I've got a couple sitting there. We're moving house and shit, so I'll send you a couple of little pickies.
So what about you? What are you gonna got going forward?
We're releasing a new beer actually, dude. Like soon. An American pale ale. Like I did my first beer was a Festy. That was kind of cool. Like that's pretty much all gone. And now we got some American pale ale that I brewed. But to be honest, the commercial brewery thing's fucked. Like you need some serious cachet. Like, and it's cool. Like I love everyone who's tried my beer and everywhere it's gone. But like you make no money. Like so for me.
Are you able to kind of brew it and then sell it, or how are the regulations there?
Yeah, so I have to set up as like a brewery, and I've gypsy brewed at a couple of different breweries, but you're competing with like AB InBev here,
Yeah.
Which is like how I can't, like that's not a thing. So I brew for my small little crew, and like I sell a bit of beer, but I mainly like the home brew and the chatting to other dudes in the industry, man. Like this is rad. I really appreciate you giving up your time and just hanging with me and having a chat, dude, and sharing your beer knowledge and these wicked beers. Like,
Oh yeah.
This is where I think we'll go more as opposed to more commercial beer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. This is awesome. And
Like,
yeah, thank you for you inspired me to I had to think about it for a minute about the three beers. What would they be? The Guinness was easy. But yeah, there's so many great beers here that guilty pleasure beer could be a lot of them actually. But yeah,
and the way you think about it is like a whole thing as well. So like my guilty pleasure was like a full on like macro brewery that I kind of liked when I was like a Sparky, like on the tools.
Okay.
So like mine was
So it's like the one you don't tell people about.
That was how I
That's
thought
why it's
about
guilty.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, but other dudes we've spoken to are exactly like you, and it's like this wicked, gem that they only bring out every now and then, and they're guilty because they don't drink it more, So I love that thought process of why you decide that's what it is, as well.
Yeah, well, in that vein, it would probably be Guinness then.
Yeah, but
it's one that like if I go to a bar and they don't have anything craft on, then I'll take the Guinness because they probably have that, right?
Everyone's got a bit of Guinness, mate. Everyone's got Guinness on tap. They sell I think it was like 2 million pints a day or something, dude. It was something ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I got to fact check that, but like it was something close.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
And I only just recently learned that there is a Guinness US because I thought all this shit was imported from Ireland, but I guess they're brewing here too. So.
Just checking mine.
Yeah.
I think ours is ours is brewed in Sydney.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got this one says this is the extra stout. It says product of Ireland, imported by.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Made in Ireland, imported in Sydney. So no, this is still an Irish beer. So is that the same with you?
That's what this bottle claims, but then I heard that I've talked to people that have toured. They claim I'm going to have to fact check this too now, because I thought I had seen people on Instagram posting about Guinness in the U.S. on the East Coast somewhere, like New Jersey or something. And so I thought that they
that as well. Yeah, dude, yeah. I've actually heard that. I genuinely, one of the dudes, it would have been from New Jersey. He started his own like something Lion or something brewery.
Uh-huh.
And he used to brew for Guinness in the States.
In the US. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's a real thing. And again, yeah, fact checking that, but whatever.
Yeah. It's really important to know. Get it straight.
Are you getting a bit blind here as well, or is this just me? Like,
not yet, but I've only had this much of my first pour of the narwhal because I'm gonna put some of it into a pint jar and seal it up and leave it for when the girlfriend comes home.
I've only got that much left. It's the only problem out of
It'll fuck you up, yeah. Georgia doesn't drink this stuff.
Oh, she does. Like, she absolutely does. She loves it, man.
Okay.
But yeah, she's doing me a massive solid and sorting out my boy at the moment. So yeah,
nice.
I'll give her. We got plenty of fest beer in the fridge, so she can.
Okay. Yeah, make sure that you get some of it though, because you'll probably not get it again for a long time, right? I won't tell how much it was.
Yeah, she doesn't listen. That's all right.
Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't know either. So,
dude, that's been awesome. I really appreciate you like hanging out with us, man. That's
yeah, thank you.
With with everything else going on, I guess we'll wrap everything up and
okay.
sign off and finish up the podcast and that. But have you got some, what's this called? Socials that you want to plug, or have you got website, Insta? Like what do you got?
I guess, yeah, I got the Instagram. Check me out at Cringeworthy Homebrewer, but I post there. Sometimes I'll post 3 days in a row, and then I'll go a month and not post anything. So, if you're a glutton for punishment, then check out my page. Otherwise, I don't recommend it. Probably don't. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. I recommend not checking out my Instagram. Please do not check out my Instagram. You won't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Home phone number?
Home phone number, yeah.
Yeah.
For the spammers, yeah.
Yeah. No,
My home phone number, and I'll hang up on you. Just for fun.
Well, dude, thanks heaps for kind of having a chat, and we'll be in touch soon,
Right.
man. This has been heaps of fun. Like the three beers you've picked have been absolute bangers. I like to start off with Saison Dupont, right, and then be more stoked about another beer. That's something else, man.
That's a high bar, I know.
Yeah. So we'll see all of you sometime in the future, and
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks.